Welcome to the
Hey.
pre-show hangout. We're just doing stuff. I'm doing some prep for the game, and everyone else is doing some other prep. Take it away, Rhiannon. Woo! Rhiannon's got something interesting to talk about for the hangout. So,
do we have an audience yet? Because
I don't
know.
Yeah,
people who
there.
can spend their points.
I don't know. I'm not watching it yet. I should really rectify that. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're doing roll 22, right? Got to get all that set up. Shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, hi, everybody. We have a new community challenge for you this week. There's no giveaway this week, but this week's community challenge is another one shot that will be led or dungeon mastered by the lovely and knowledgeable Rhiannon Held.
Woo! Yay!
She's below my window.
Oh, thank you, Captain Kahlo. Made the first contribution for 2,000 gold lines.
Sweet.
Your audio is kind of like shifting a little bit. It kind of went suddenly sort of had kind of an echoey effect or kind of a space like in a wide open space kind of feel. And then
okay, I'll move my mic.
Oh man, if I lose out to the Tarask, I will cry.
The Tarask is worth so many more points, and the community can't contribute to it.
Oh, okay.
Like, only one person could buy it.
Somebody says they're saving for the Tarask. That's okay.
Oh.
What? How many points does the Tarask require?
123,456.
and what exactly happens if a Tarask is achieved? If we achieve Tarask,
I mean,
it appears somewhere in the world, hopefully near us, hopefully not. Maybe we'll just hear of its exploits in the newspaper. Whatever Eric wants to do.
Excellent.
I mean, theoretically, viewers could just keep buying this and keep filling our world with Tarasks. So even though we're staying in Westgate, everything just being like stomped around us. Oh, although
everyone's like, I heard Waterdeep was destroyed the other week. Nah, that doesn't make sense. Well, how would that have happened? And we just cut to Waterdeep.
Yeah, although lore-wise, isn't there only one Tarask?
That is one theory, yes.
Is there a different theory now?
There's enough like magic that duplicates things that I have a hard time believing that if you really wanted a second Tarask, there wasn't something you could do. But good question. We need more topics for Champions of Lore. Maybe the Tarask is what we should be talking about.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Yeah.
If Rogar finds that out, though, his mission is not going to be to defeat the Tarask. It will be to find some way to, enable it to have offspring, because it's tragic to think that it's all alone in this universe, or at least find it love. Like, what would a Tarask love? I don't know.
As far as I know, it loves to
is a
eat.
Tarask.
Oh, maybe like an astral dreadnought, like a Tarask and an astral dreadnought. They could probably get it on, right? Find things in common. Like, oh, everybody just fears me and runs away when they see me, and think I'm just a monster, but they don't see the real me, kind of a thing. And I think they'd have a lot in common, maybe, to really bond over and connect. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Like, who would make a good? What would make a good pairing for a Tarask? Love pairing.
I was even just thinking.
Really curious about the sentience of a Tarask. It is not. Yeah. It is an intelligence 3.
I was actually just thinking.
Intelligence 9. Are you saying he can't? No, I'm just kidding.
I feel like there's a threshold where there's consent issues because the Tarask is not capable.
That's true.
I'm saying this, the Tarask is not capable of consenting, and so. But then I don't know. It isn't. And then there's this question of an animal can have a mate that's the same animal, and that's different. And we don't say, well, the dog can't consent to pairing off with another dog. However, the Tarask in its natural environment doesn't know any other Tarasks. So I don't know. This is getting weird.
Well, it's like all the time. I mean, centaurs came from someplace. I'm just saying.
Well, my mind went two different directions.
We could return to archaeology, maybe.
Wait, one last thing, because I've been waiting
Oh,
on this one. So, like, I was actually thinking of mechanical ways that we could actually raise a Tarask's intelligence so that it can make those decisions, or at least like talk to
Ooh.
us or other creatures.
Because nothing ever went bad with giving a horrible monster hyper intelligence. Like,
Well, it-
I'm all for this.
I love this. I
I'm
love
In
this.
my
all for
head-
this.
I'm all for this.
in my head,
Clever
this is
girl.
only tragic. This is like Monster Manual meets Flowers for Algernon.
Yes. Wow, that's amazing.
What if you
What a great
awaken to
mashup.
the Tarask, and it turns out that he was just they were just so enthusiastic about now being an adventurer, and they were like, "Oh, I want to become a fighter. Won't somebody let me take a level of fighter? I want to kill giant rats."
I
They wanna
the
be a
Tarask
bard.
To I want the Tarask to pick a charisma class. I want
an
to be a
acrobatic bard.
That would be
bard
fun.
that juggles. The Tarask wants to juggle. That's extreme.
I kind of remember there was some homebrew where somebody made like a half Tarask race that was just way overpowered. But I think it allowed them to live out their power fantasies, in which is like a lot of what D&D is all about anyways. So I'm sure they had the best time in their lives playing that.
So
Okay.
what would other people do on an archaeological site?
I was gonna say,
Sounds
back to
sounds
archaeology.
like a
getting my-
cockroach to crawl into things.
I need a recap of the question because I was getting my too big burrito, which is now a taco because physics.
So assuming we have Mithranor
Mhm.
and there's big towers and fallen down towers and lots of rubble on the ground that's been picked clean, and an underground level that you don't know what's where within that. What would you do if you were searching for something there? Sturge is saying that he'd be looking for his like family's residence, possibly their tomb,
Mhm.
something like that. But
What would Cecilia be interested in Mithranor, and where would she look for it?
Cecilia has a secret shopping list she's working on that none of you know about. So probably that something there. I don't know what would be in Mr. Nor, but
Well, you don't have to get Rogar a return gift. It's fine.
man, I gotta say, everybody had gifts except Cecilia, and I did not. I was like, I don't know how she'd react to that. Going,
You
for
gave us
a
gifts
bunch
for-
of weirdos.
You
I
kicked
gave
off
you-
the entire series with gifts in season 1, so that I still got my bag of teeth.
I was
So
gonna
you
say,
know,
who has the bag of teeth again?
I've got the bag of teeth.
and then Artemisia had the really like ugly like claw necklace. Yeah.
Yep. They were gifts. They were not things scavenged off Red Wizard bodies.
Not at all. No.
Hey, we're 25% of the way there. 15,000
nice.
gold lions have been
Oh, nice.
raised so far.
They were totally not the equivalent of, oh shoot, stopping on the gas station on the way to pick up a quick gift.
That is a really, really good analogy. It's like, oh crap, there's not a store in just leagues and leagues and leagues. But I got a pile of corpses.
No, now Sarshan's carrying on the tradition.
Of what? Piles of corpses?
Well,
Random
obvious.
gifts.
Oh, random gifts. Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Piles of
Taken from
corpses.
corpses.
I was like, I wasn't there for
Wow.
this.
Sarge is
Artemis-
like,
Artemis
yeah,
should
piles of
keep that
corpses.
spoon.
That's kind of my thing.
Oh my
You
god.
probably won't eat with it, but she'll like put it on a shelf somewhere as a knickknack.
I'm excited for everybody carrying a spoon shift that you can cast animate objects.
Yeah.
Well, those are your shivs now, you know. Stong might use it at some point, but he considers them yours. So
Right, but, like, if
we
Rogar's
carry
being
them as a
grappled or-
keepsake,
Yeah, if Rogar's being grappled or choked or something, you can like take out it and stab whatever's with your animate object.
Yeah.
You have my full permission.
it's a keepsake slash piercing damage.
yeah.
Tetanus delivery device.
Hey,
Do you know what tennis was in the realms? I know it's got a name. I just know it in my bones.
Ooh.
Taraskness.
Aaron, how was the Unfair Seas this
It was
week?
good, except oh my god, that Kraken was something. They voted they put a vote up whether the Kraken should have 8 tentacles or infinite tentacles. And so of course I am going nuts going, how can a thing have infinite tentacles? It can't possibly consume enough biomass to keep this going.
And infinity is a concept, not a. Yeah.
So obviously they voted infinite tentacles.
Of course they did. At what point would anybody vote for anything else?
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I
threw
should
all
say
my
that
votes at it.
Some people did vote for 8 tentacles. They were probably my kindred spirits going, infinite tentacles doesn't make any sense. Never mind, it's a
Well,
magical
those people
creature.
were wrong, and they wasted their vote.
Yep.
So in the end, that was what the if you haven't watched it yet, plug your ears. That was what the cultist of Umberlee was summoning, was a Kraken servant. And fortunately, she didn't summon it all the way, so we were not facing the full CR23 Kraken. And you know what the spell that saved the day was? Banishment. It was banishment. It was the best
Nice.
spell.
Banishment is a great spell.
It was a good time.
Nice.
Cool. And now, is that the end of the Unfair Seas?
That is the end of Unfair Seas. Next week is another arc called A Fool's Errand. So the voting has started for that. If you check out, I think right now it's a who gets a magic item. Is it Baloth or new character Briv? So
Briv,
Black Viper and Melf have
Still be wearing your stylish pirate
my God.
clothes.
no. Oh wait, the characters maybe. There is to my knowledge no Fool's Errand costume for at least not for Havilar. So yeah, maybe she does look great as a pirate. With her little harpoon glaive.
Do you get to get any like sweet loot or level up outside of us voting for it?
No. We were allowed some loot when we started. So that's why Havilar had the Ring of Water Walking, which turned out to be a good choice. And I gave her a better glaive because in the books, like, I don't ever think about magic items. Probably should. So there are some, and because they're very narratively important. But Havilar didn't really get any until, well, in the last book she gets a kind of important one. But I guess in Adversary she has the necklace, but in general, like, there wasn't any like canonical magic items to give her. So I was like, what's the best magical glaive I can get? Because it bums me out when Havilar goes to hit something and she doesn't. Like, that's the entirety of her shtick. I hit things with a glaive really well. So when it doesn't work,
Mechanically, yeah.
it's like stupid dice.
It's like I would like a glaive of always hit things.
Like, plot importance.
Like it can have negative damage modifier. That's okay. I just,
hit things, look cool.
always hit.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I have plans to make her remember. She watched the crabs flip each other. I was like, oh, if later she's like, oh, I'm gonna flip this thing like I saw the crab do. That would be in keeping with the character adapting her fighting style. But I had never had anything that could flip except the wave shark guy, and I forgot him. Anyway, so yeah.
Does anybody not Artemisia have dispel magic? I know you have counter
Yeah.
spell.
Sturge does.
Okay. That might be useful.
Okay,
Yeah.
theoretical question. Back onto the Tarask. Let's say we successfully polymorphed it into some sort of beast, like I don't know, a squirrel, and then we cast Awaken on it to give it intelligence of 10. Do you think A, that works, and then B, could we then ask it to go on a date with, what was the choice? The astral dreadnought? Is that all why we're doing this whole thing? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but we'd have to transform the astral dreadnought into a squirrel too,
Yeah.
or maybe a chipmunk, so that they're slightly different but similar.
Because we already, I mean, man, there is.
Well, this is just to get consent and
monster
interest.
sex. It seems like, because I know we had a conversation about whether astral dreadnoughts had any interest in mating. Oh, that was because Kalis was going to cast something to make the astral dreadnought think there was a sexy other astral dreadnought showing up,
Right.
and we realized like
Oh,
they were all
yeah.
just sort of like created, and they all hate each other. So you would also have to,
They're all territorial.
like you said, transform and awaken the astral dreadnought and explain also to it the concept of parenting.
This is love. Now, do you wish to experience this with that?
Oh my God, Rogar is so down for this mission.
It just feels like you're like, what's the most difficult quest I could take in terms
is
of
gonna be-
spreading the word of Sharindlar? Convince two beings that hate all other living beings to fall in love with each other.
Two
And make
primordial
babies.
creatures
Yeah,
that
this is
exist
what
only to destroy.
Rogar will be doing when he's hitting level 20 for sure.
Wow.
That and hooking up
Good
gods and stuff like
God.
that. You know, it's lonely being a god.
Is it?
Champions of Lore keeps like they keep making up stuff about. I mean, I say they, but I have participated in it by laughing. Things like Orcus is actually longing for the Raven Queen in a say anything boombox kind of way. She don't want him.
Oh.
Like he holds up his wand and like,
No, he definitely has a boombox.
No.
This is important to the imagery.
wow.
Yeah. I forget why Dagon and Umberly probably have a similar thing where he keeps bringing her presents and she's like, thanks, bye. Because I think that's how Umberly deals with everybody. Thanks, bye. You're not gone fast enough. Tidal wave.
Earth's the tidal wave rising. Err.
What would be the trickiest god for Rogar to find true love for?
That's a good one. I mean, Char's pretty hard because she's all about loss and despair and
Well, that's kind
right and basically entropy, like sort of like the opposite of.
Do
You
have a
just need an
suggestion?
intense extrovert. to
'Cause I
fill the
mean,
void.
Yeah, because even hate, like gods of hate and murder and stuff, that's still, they're very passionate about something. So you could get a god of like, you know, hate and murder together with like a god or goddess of like, you know,
Terrible.
vengeance and, you know, and they'd be like,
You found a partner for Char that sort of eased that void enough. And then suddenly in Faerun, people are like, wait, my depression is gone.
yeah.
What happened?
And now I
That would be
feel
epic.
kind of horny, honestly. It's weird.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah.
Well,
That's a
I
good
mean,
point.
I think the perfect mate for Char would be Ganadar. Now, listen, this is my logic.
Okay.
Char
I wanna
goes
hear
on
That's
this.
disgusting.
Char goes on this like deep existential rant about how life and the universe is meaningless and all things will eventually die. And Ganadar just goes bloop. And Char goes, I knew you'd understand.
Wait, is Ganadar spelled Gonadar?
Ghaund.
Okay.
He's like a god of oozes.
Yeah, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say that made me think. What's her name? Zugtmoy, the fungus one, because
Yep,
like that's gonna just
Zugtmoy.
keep going. That's gonna grow forever. You make a big space, fungus fills it. But that might just
Yeah.
piss Char off. So I may retract that.
Oh, Aaron, did you
The
did
blue
you
bite
bring
of
up
the day.
Roll20? We kind of talked a little bit about it. Just in case you missed a reminder, we'll probably be on Roll20 tonight. So.
Okay, no.
I totally forgot to pull it up, so that's all the reason I was bringing.
Thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
I will keep my cursing to a minimum.
Right.
Promises.
Are you good to go, Eric? You
Well,
have the
my
grid all
minimum.
aligned and everything. There's
Yeah,
My
yeah.
minimum.
wow,
I'm
right.
prepared. I'm prepared
right.
this time.
Okay,
Okay.
so a little bit of metagaming, but
I didn't have to say this time. I kind of
yeah, you did.
owned myself there. Anyway.
No, you did, because a little bit of metagaming. Eric lately has been buying like every single monster book on D&D Beyond.
What?
He's bought like 4 books or something in like the past couple of weeks, and I keep seeing the receipts line up, and I'm like, what could he possibly be planning?
It's mostly so that, you know, we can build characters with all of those things.
All the monsters? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, WotC has this, you know,
Look at that smile.
The certain business model. So we needed some of these books. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I was actually on D&D Beyond to like look up Mithranor, and I was like, oh, obviously we just like bought like all the books. Like that must be an option somewhere because there are so darn many. Didn't realize yet we'd been doing them one by one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you could buy them all at once. There's like a package that you can buy like every source book all at once. It's like $300, $400. I did not do
The thing
that.
about those sort of things is like by the time you have bought them all individually, it's probably a better deal. But like, when would you buy every single one individually? But maybe that's just me.
Robert in the chat says, "Now I feel awkward for owning everything already. Thanks, Eric." Don't feel awkward. It's cool that you own everything. I own almost everything in print anyway. Just I wanted it for the for everyone's use.
I know it's impractical, but it's all. I mean, I don't know. There's really no justification for it. But I wish that there was some way to tie in like the online sales of these books, like on Roll20 and D&D Beyond and all that kind of stuff, to like your local game shop or whatever, so that like they get a percentage of the sale. That would be cool. But just the way like some you can buy ebooks or you like the independent bookstore websites where you can buy books through your independent bookstores and stuff like that, and they get a little bit of the kickback or something just because.
Well, once upon a time, WotC did have a whole range of its own little game stores and whatnot, and they were very supportive of the local gaming stores. I don't know exactly what the policy is these days.
Yeah,
but surely something could happen. I mean, once we get past the age of Corona, as it were.
Yeah.
I remember those Wizards of the Coast stores. I used to hang out in those.
Yeah, well, yeah, on the U District, on the Ave there, the original one.
Yeah, it was
Was that the
huge.
original one? Yeah, it was huge. Had the big dragon stuff.
So when I moved here, they were gone already. But I started working. I used to work at Wizards of the Coast, and I can still remember at least once, possibly more than once, someone coming off the elevator and looking around like a family looking around really confused because they thought this was a Wizards of the Coast store, and they're just walking into this technically secure floor that you're not supposed to be able to get to without like swiping a badge, like full of cubicles. What's going on?
Somebody tailgated.
Right?
Oh my God.
Then there would be an email that was like, people,
Please watch your back when you're coming into secured areas.
if somebody doesn't look like they're supposed to be here, stop them and say, hey, you're supposed to go to the 4th floor where you will discover this is not a store.
It's also where the giant dragon is. You want to
That's
see
true,
the
but you
giant
can
dragon, right?
Take a picture with the giant dragon.
Exactly.
What happened to that family? Did they get the product that they wanted?
No one ever saw them again.
Eaten by the giant dragon is my theory.
Wow.
Do you know that dragon has, well, actually, I don't know if it still has the same name. It had a name for a while that was Mitzi, which I thought was cute.
Mitzi, nice.
That's a good name.
Okay. I forgot to
What?
post
Oh,
my
I was looking at
chat
Steven's background. I was like, what the heck is that? But I guess it's one of those maps where he's connecting all the dots. It's like a relationship chart.
It's just missing the dude who's like,
Yeah,
this is what it
yeah.
all means.
So he's been investigating for a while, huh? He's going to lead us into
Oh, good. I was gonna say, yeah. He threw up the
He
murder
has
board. I was hoping
he has some leads, yes. I'm going to do a brief little prologue that's going to be all Sturge, and then we're going to have everybody come together. He's going to invite you into the murder room. I mean, the Night Mask
Wow.
map room.
Sure. Come together.
And we have Briarhouse business at some point.
know.
but
Right.
That'll be before the.
Understood.
Yeah.
I know we have one viewer who really wants to know more about the pet rock and the familiar situation.
Yeah, there's a couple people that are very like keen on that.
It's just Star Chaser. Star Chaser's just pushing his pet rock agenda.
I will.
His, her, they.
Okay, chat.
Sorry.
I'm throwing you a bone right now. And that is to say, we did discuss this for a long time today. Okay. There was a lot of conversation about the pet rock issue. I'm not saying it's going to turn out like you're hoping, Star Chaser, but we did talk about it.
Apparently
What?
I didn't make myself clear very quickly. And also I like to explain myself thoroughly.
She explained herself very thoroughly. It's true.
I don't ever do things for simple reasons.
She does not do
Ever.
anything half-assed. That is entirely accurate. Have you read her books? Jesus.
Have you read her books? With that, we're going to the recaps. See you all in 5.